Today, I want to continue on the topic about self confidence. This topic has been on my mind in the past few days, and I realize over time my understanding, my definition of self confidence has evolved. In this video, I want to share with you my three stages of understanding self confidence. The first stage, when I say the phrase self confidence, the experience came up in mind is in my junior high, where I did well in my English class. I was able to get good scores in my exam. I was able to talk to native English speakers and make myself understood. That gave me tremendous confidence at the time. From that experience, I extract the definition of, the initial definition of self-confidence, which is the trust, the faith that I have in myself about doing something well. Trusting that I can do something well. In this case, I trusted myself that I can speak English well. That was the first stage, my initial definition of self-confidence. Now, let's move on to the second stage. This was in my university time when I was studying Korean, the language. I studied the language for 4 years, and one of the years I went to South Korea for an exchange program. But despite that, I sucked at the language. I never got to a level where I felt confident. A lot of times I couldn't find the right words. I couldn't even come up with a complete sentence to express myself clearly. I struggled with it for a long time. But in university, there was this one time when I was chosen to perform on stage in Korean in front of thousands of students from different universities. I was so nervous. How could I do that? I suck at the language. But it was a task that my professor assigned to me, so I sort of had to do it. I brought out my courage. I prepare, I practice, I put in a lot of work. But at the end, I still suck. I couldn't improve, in a short amount of time in order to perform well. So I sucked at the performance. The performance was a disaster. At the moment when it was over, when I finished, I felt such a relief. I was like, this is finally over. I felt a relief. But at the same time, I knew I didn't do well. But at the same time, I realized this wasn't too bad. I mean, the feeling of failure, it's not too bad. It seems like I can handle it. I can accept the fact that I didn't do well in the performance. But it seems like nothing bad really happened. That's when I realized, hey, this actually gave me confidence. Next time, if I need to perform, I know that I can allow myself to fail because nothing bad would happen. Look at this time. I fell, but nothing bad happened. Right? So that's where the first evolution of my definition of self-confidence has happened. Now I understand a little bit more about self-confidence. It comes from failure. So that was the second stage. Let's move on to the third stage, which was recent years. Years ago when I moved to Japan, I couldn't speak a word of Japanese. After years of living here, I studied some, I learned some, I could speak some, but it's still really bad. I know the best way to learn a language is to go out to have conversation, to talk to people, but I could never get over that hurdle. But it's a different story for my wife. When she moved here, she also couldn't speak a word. But she just talked to people so confidently, and after just a few months, she improved so much she could speak Japanese fluently now. And I was impressed by that. I asked her, you didn't speak a word when you moved here, but how did you have that confidence that you can talk to people in Japanese? And she say, what can I do? I'm a foreigner. I didn't learn the language, but I have to survive. I have to accept the fact that I just don't speak Japanese well today. And accept that and move on and do it. And I realized, yeah, for me, the hurdle was really that I didn't accept the fact that I'm a foreigner, that it's normal for me to speak very bad Japanese because I didn't study it. I couldn't accept that. I want to pretend to be someone else. I want to pretend to be someone who lived here a long time and can speak the language fluently. But I'm not. So that's where I realized confidence actually comes from the self-acceptance, the recognition of who you are, and the ability to own that. And in this case, my confidence should come from the fact that I can realize I'm a foreigner. I don't speak Japanese well, and I make peace with that. And not only making peace with that, I need to own that and go out and practice. So that was the third stage. These are the 3 stages of my understanding of self-confidence. You can see how it evolved from initially the ability to do something well to later the ability to handle failures, eventually the ability to recognize who I am and owning it. I hope my reflection is helpful to you. Please let me know your thoughts. Leave me a comment. I would love to hear from you. And that's it for the video today. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.